Now, Isaiah Sharp with the Idaho News 6 forecast.
Temperatures currently sitting in the mid-90s and will probably be sticking to that range for the rest of the day. As we take a look at the village at Meridian and taking a look at the background, you can see the foothills a little bit more prominently, which is a nice little break from all of the smoke that we have been seeing. You remember last week, those conditions were pretty terrible when it came to air quality in the region. Part of that is because of some northwesterly winds that are pushing that smoke just a little bit away from us. You can see the prominent fires that are burning all across the region. Those are all getting pushed up to the north, which is a nice little break that we're seeing. Unfortunately, as the evening rolls on, those are going to start to congregate just a little bit. The northern Boise region will see a little bit of smoke, but then in the morning time, all of that is just going to be moving off. And so around 2 a.m., 3 a.m., that's when we're going to be seeing the most prominent smoke in our region. But that's going to be kind of moving its way over. You can see that very, very thin line right there where the light to moderate smoke is. It's not going to be taking over our region like we've seen in the past weeks. And we're hoping that wildfires will continue to be contained by all those crews that are out there. Quick update on some of those fires. The Snag fire over the weekend was sitting at 8,000 acres. That has now gone up to 13,000. The Paddock fire, of course, one of the largest in the region at 187,000 acres. The Nellie fire now joining the fray, sitting at 1,796. And the Anderson fire, I want to highlight, you can see both of those fires are right here. They're fairly close to each other, not very far distance. So we'll keep an eye on that, hoping that doesn't become a complex fire, because that would just make conditions even worse. And the Dollar fire sitting at 1,300 acres. I do want to mention, you see all of this pink that's across the region. It's kind of missing the Treasure Valley region just to the north of us. This is a red flag warning that's been initiated for the area. That's going to be coming to an end around 9 o'clock tonight. And so hoping that these don't worsen some of the conditions that are happening for the wildfires. Something that's going to be improving the wildfire conditions, though, is the cooler temperatures on the way. You see the 90s currently in the Treasure Valley, 90s down in the Magic Valley, 80s in the eastern central mountains. Heading into tomorrow, though, our region is going to see a cool down. 70s in McCall, 80s in the Treasure Valley, 70s in the eastern central mountains, and 80s down in the Magic Valley. We'll be sticking to that upper 80, lower 90 region for the rest of this week, which will be a nice break. Our 6 to 10 day outlook has warmer than normal conditions moving into the region, and so fingers crossed that isn't a sign for more to come. But you can see this band of cooler temperatures is hitting the west coast all across California, Oregon, and Washington. I was really hoping it was going to push over, make its way over to the Gem State, but we'll see slightly warm conditions expected in our 6 to 10 day outlook. That's into next week. Taking a look at what we're going to be seeing tomorrow. 80s across the board. You see that precipitation chance. It's only going to be very light across the region. We're going to see it overnight as well. That's only going to be in the morning time, and 80s across the board and 60s for the lows, which is wonderful to see this time of year. Taking a look at the western central mountains, you can see that morning time thunderstorm activity moving off to the north. McCall sitting at 50%, Riggins at 50%. You can see 70s expected for Cascade and McCall, 80-degree temperature ranges everywhere else. As for the eastern central mountains, they'll be seeing some thunderstorm activity up in the 40% range for Stanley. 70-degree temperature ranges and 40s and 50s expected to be the lows. But hey, the Treasure Valley is going to be seeing 80s, which is a nice turn on the temperatures. 87 expected to be the high. We will see some 90s this week, though, only just breaking on Thursday. Thunderstorm chances expected then. We'll see a slight bump in temperatures heading into the weekend, but it's going to be really, really beautiful. Enjoy these 80s as long as they're lasting.